Hello, everyone. So today we are talking about something a bit edgy and something that will determine the future of software engineering, of blockchain engineering, of any type of engineering that you do, and that is AI Slop. Yeah, you heard me right, AI Slop. Nowadays, a good number of us just build things with AI or we write with AI or do this many things. But like today, I want to talk from a standpoint of software engineering and also from content marketing and how what we do today will affect the future of how software will be, how products will be, how experience of the web will be. You might want to ask me, I'll be like, okay, John, so why are we talking about AI stuff today? Well, I've always wanted to talk about it and give my opinion, but I've just kind of withheld and observed how things unfold. But like earlier today, I came across this post by this founder of HoneyBadger, Joshua. So let's kind of read what he wants to say. So he said, I'm currently editing a company blog after our last editor left and realized some content was leaking through. So now they have a strict AI policy for authors. So now we want to listen or we want to read what Joshua, who is a founder of a an observability and monitoring startup, HoneyBadger, what he has to say about AI and the use of AI by writers. And for most of you who might not know, apart from all those YouTube thing, I am a writer. I do content marketing for SaaS and crypto teams. So this is a personal one for me. And this is still why I didn't want to talk about AI slop before now because, well, it's my business. So anything I say, especially since I have an orthodox view about the whole thing, will be like, okay, it's because it's his business. That's why he's saying this. But like, let's put away all bias for now and just focus on the locus of the discussion. Now, this is what Joshua said. He said now he wants to talk first from a reader perspective. That as a reader, slop is cringe. And I think I want to agree with that because, for example, let's say you want to know how to maybe connect your database to front end and you are reading an article to help you do that, maybe with a Superbase or with Neon or with backend, let's say any of these backend BAS guys, and you discover that the article is written in a way that wouldn't really help you achieve your aim, or like there is bad engineering direction, advice or stuff in the article, and everything just points to the fact that it wasn't a software engineer who has done this thing that wrote this thing. And this sort of dissonance or imbalance, it doesn't help you as a reader. It doesn't feel like a communication from maybe a senior engineer or a junior engineer to you. It's just bland. But I'm not talking about taste today. That's not what I want to talk about. Taste is subjective. Some will say it doesn't matter. Some will say it matters. For me, it matters. So, but now, Joshua is saying that slop is cringe as a reader, but like you are not always so impressed, especially if you know what you are doing in quotes. You're not always so impressed when you read these things. Now let's go about what he has to say more. So he says when he has the feeling that something is AI generated, he knows out immediately. Not to sound orthodox. Well, I'm very orthodox with how I treat work and everything. So I think the thing is for me too. I just feel like okay, this is not an article written by someone who knows what he's doing or someone who has carried out this thing I want to learn. So as a result, I just stop out and close the tab. For me, I close the tab and I move on. So now he's saying now this guy is perhaps funny. So he's saying that if he doesn't know at the moment and later gets to know, he gets more annoyed. I think he's more orthodox than me when it comes to AI, really. I think he's more orthodox. Okay. And as a reader, he sees it as a waste of time. Now let's track it. As a reader, when you read something, you wanna just know if it's to help you know things, how to build things, or how to understand engineering concepts. So if it doesn't do that, that's waste of time, obviously, and that's So now, for those who's been somehow about how their content has not been getting the right recognition or readership, this is part of what causes it. It says it will go out of your way, it go out of its way to avoid your content in the future. And that affects the distribution of your company's blog later in the future if you get into AI slot. So now they release this policy. Let's go over the policy. So it must be your own way. Let's track everything as we talk. Like we mentioned, this is the first thing. Readers, or a good number of readers, find AI generated articles cringe. I am the first among the readers who find AI generated articles cringe. I am the first. I don't care what anyone else thinks, or for me, I think it's slow. I want someone who's done it, who's been there right for me, and not just. And this is the thing. If I want actual AI slow, I'll ask Claude. That's the thing. I think we should track that too. So anyone who wants to know anything about software engineering can just open a tab, ask Claude, ask GPT, ask a good number of all these models. But like if I choose to read your article, it means I want something better. I want something that's ordinarily Claude or GPT will not give me. Now imagine I left Claude, I left GPT to come read your article, and you are spewing the same bland or surface level prima facie concept I will get from Claude to me. No, I think I wouldn't want to say that's fraud, but like it's fraud. So for people to leave their time and ask you or read your articles to get better understanding of some of these technical things, I think it's just simply means they want to know better. They want to know more than the surface level things like I've mentioned earlier. Yeah. Now let's go back to the policy. So everything must be your original work. So what do they allow in at HoneyBadger right now in their technical content team? What do they allow AI to be? So you can compile research and reference materials. Okay. And this is another thing many people wouldn't talk about. And I guess they wouldn't talk about it because they are not really practicing writers. Yeah, hallucinates. If you don't know this, then I bet you've not used this model to a large extent. And it's more brain tasking when you are carrying out AI assisted coding. It should just know when at the points. The whole code base will be messed up. I wouldn't say I'm anti AI. Well, if you think I am, but I wouldn't say so. It's just that let's treat the facts as the facts. This thing hallucinates a good number of times and it just stops working at a point. It is for this same reason that any stat it gives you, it can hallucinate. It might not be right. All right, I'll digress a bit. There was this case in court recently, I think in the States. The lawyer used AI to come up with his pleadings and his applications to the courts. And while the judge was reading the applications, the motions, and everything, it got to know that a good number of authorities, legal authorities, cited in the pleading, in the motions, didn't exist. The judge that dissented in the case, the AI says he was the one who didn't dissent or stuff like that, who agreed, and it was all messed up. And trust me, This lawyer was very, very embarrassed in court, and I think eventually had other ethical issues with the disciplinary committee and everything. But here in this channel, we don't talk about law, at least not yet. That's a digression, and that's to show you that AI can hallucinate and give you wrong facts. So if you use it for getting facts for your articles, you better cross-check it because it might go south. So now they say that you have to verify all facts against primary sources, and that's a good one. Improve spelling and grammar. Okay, generate code. This generate code part, the issue I have with it is that, well, you only get this if you've probably used this LLM models to generate code before. First of all, they are mostly unnecessarily verbose, meaning that if simply 30 lines of code are enough to demonstrate something, it will blow it up to say 40, 50, and it can get overwhelming. Because why do I have to have code blocks that necessarily do not do anything in the application or in the script? So I now I think I'm more orthodox than the HoneyBadger editors here. I wouldn't say you should just use it to generate code and read it and understand it. You have to also edit the code at best. And if you're a software engineer, I would just say, why not just write it to your case yourself? Okay, why not just write it to your case yourself? But like the point is, it's not only enough to generate the code and test it. You also have to edit it. It's mostly unnecessarily verbose most times. So just cut it down, make it more minimal and meaningful. Yeah, stuff like that. Then you have to read the code. I think this era of vibe coding thing that many do now for the code, edits, read tests. So you have to read your code. I'm not a software engineer who believes in garbage in, garbage out. I believe in reading code, testing code end to end, and just making sure that it works well before anything else. Then if you generate with AI, this you have to edit it. You have to edit it, make it better. What are the prohibited use for the Onibata diaries? So they don't allow it for outline and structure. Well, this is the first time I've seen because a good number of content teams now use AI for their structure and outline and everything. And they have skills, plot skills for it. So I think I really want to know why they don't want to use AI for structure. I want to know that. Generate any portion of the content. Now they don't want you to write even a single sentence from AI generation. They want everything to your guide. And I understand that. I understand that really. Now this is getting serious. So they don't even allow you to use AI for metadata. That's serious. That's serious. That's serious. I thought everybody was saying OpenAI Sora and Gemini are actually very good for image generation. So how come they don't want you to use AI for images and visualizations? This is getting interesting. Interesting. Anyway, it's their editorial standards. If you don't agree with them, you don't work with them, and stuff like that. I think they are actually a bit more orthodox than me, really. But this is the thing. This is the thing, guys. Let's talk about it. And if you are a good student of history, you will know this. So right now, shiny objects syndrome, then humanity goes forward to come backward. So guys, this is just it really. like you tests at the points NFTs were raiding, everybody was talking about NFT, telling you not to buy gold, rather buy the NFT version of it. It was a shiny object at the point. That's the fact. It was a shiny object at the point. Doesn't mean NFTs are not valuable in whatever way they can be valuable. It just means that the proportion of their value were overblown. In the same way, I think everybody really needs to calm down concerning this AI usage kind of thing. To be very frank, I've become a better engineer. I've come to learn better about how to build things about engineering concepts by simply asking GPT, okay, this particular engineering stuff, what's up with it? How do I get out of it? What's the concept that stuff like that? I can use it to get better to know things more. But I think we are overblowing the proportion. And everybody is kind of having the veil that they had during NFC for AI. So you can just correlate things on the graph. Anyway, so I meant to say that AI is currently a shiny object and everybody wants to talk about it. And every content team wants to adopt it to look progressive, stuff like that. Now, humanity goes forward to come backward. That's the facts. Check history, that's the truth. Concerning the use of even using it for images and everything, now we all are resorting to using images that are actually real images. Now everyone is resorting to writing code by hand for the love of the game again and for taste. I think I record another video for taste. That's the whole lot to talk about in this video. Then everyone is getting back to verifying their plan by themselves. Everyone is back to drafting the outline by themselves. Everyone is back to drafting and editing by themselves. I think it's quite a thing, really. But like, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So disclosure, usually I not say you doing some of the graphs, not after. Okay, 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 okay. Now this is the part that gets interesting. Now, everyone will have AI content marketing policies. Every content team will have content marketing policies. Whether it is orthodox or southpaw, everyone will have their stand. For me, you already know. I know this is a very good innovation, but of course, come on, we are not kids. We know how things can be blown out of proportion, and I think it's going to be blown out of proportion. Then not all content teams we have their policies. That's the thing. And here is one I want to tell you: if you are a senior in any dev content team or a technical content team, don't feel pressures. And I have to say this because on LinkedIn, you'll just see a good number of content teams say, okay, they fire their SEO team because they cannot use Claude to do this and do that. Then action back in the next couple of weeks, they're silently hiring back. I mean, no shade. Anyway, there's a shade. No shade, but you don't have to feel pressure to use it or to use it to the extent that some use it. This is what I believe in, and this is what we say is software engineering. If a code works, don't touch it. So if your previous content marketing approach that is more practical and less AI, if it works for you, why bother to change it to sound good to someone on the internet? Why would you? Why would you? Just be you. Shoot your videos the way you've been shooting them. Write your articles the way you've been writing them. You don't have to feel pressured because some content teams are using AI to do this and that. Then you also are using it and getting to slow. That's just a couple of that's just A couple of things I think I have to say in this video, and of course, I'm open to whatever you guys feel about the whole thing. And I think we'll have to maybe have a technical workshop on this whole thing. I have another video where I talked about taste in the age of AI slop and cringe. And it's been really an interesting topic, and I hope you all had fun, like while we discussed this. What do you think about this whole thing? Let me know in the comments. Share it on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and let's have the conversation rolling. Once again, I'm Jan Fowley. I am the content manager at Blockchain Alpha, and it's been a pleasure discussing with you guys. I'll see you on the next one.